The Ten Commandments say honor your father and mother. They don't say anything about taking them to court. But that's exactly what happened this week when 18-year-old Rachel Canning dragged her parents into court in New Jersey, suing them for ongoing financial support, tuition at her private Catholic school, and also a commitment to pay her tuition in college at the University of Vermont, where she hoped to go next year. Now, this really is an unprecedented case, and it hinged on her claim that she was thrown out of the house and her parents saying that she left willingly. But of course, before we make any judgments about what was going on that leads a teenager to sue her parents for financial support, let's be very clear that you got to pay attention to the steps that lead up to something like this. The decision for a child to sue their parents doesn't happen at once, and anyone who tries to assess this situation through the lens of one moment in court is missing the real question here. The real question about relationships and how they're built over time, how they can be destroyed over time, and probably most importantly, what we can do to keep them from getting to that place. It turns out that both sides seem to agree here that the parents turned to Rachel and said, look, there are rules in this house. Among those rules were get rid of your boyfriend or leave. So that leaves us with the question, did she leave because she chose to keep her boyfriend, or was she thrown out? It seems to me the answer is yes. And that's the fundamental breakdown here. Her parents gave her an ultimatum. And in giving the ultimatum, what they experienced as a choice, she experienced as coercive being thrown out. And we can understand how each of them, in so attaching to their perspective, failed to appreciate the experience of the other. And as is so often the case, it's not the individual act that leads to the breakdown in a relationship. It's the inability to appreciate the partial truth of the other person's perspective. Of course, the real issue here that's raised is also, what do parents owe their kids? Is there ever a circumstance in which you would throw your child out of the house? And by extension, what is it that kids owe their parents? Both of them are important questions, and thinking about either one divorced from the other is probably a mistake. It's true that parental love should be unconditional. But it's also true that while love may be unconditional, the lives people share are not unconditional. And the real thing to be learned from this sad case is, how do you balance the commitment to giving unconditional love and the fact that in real life we too have needs? Rather than thinking it's all about the needs and never unconditional, where purely unconditional means no needs, maybe it's time for Rachel Canning and her parents to realize how to make sense of both of those claims and figure out how to honor them wherever Rachel lives and whatever her parents think about her boyfriend.